the offensive stars had come and gone, and we saw the defensive line sort of light up the combine on Sunday. The linebackers somewhat pedestrian, and Mike Mayock's going to talk about that at the top of the next hour. And then the defensive backs start running their 40s. Chris Johnson was sleeping like a baby. No one was really doing much. And then producer Mark Titleman gets in the ears of me and Mike Mayock and says, Byron Jones of UConn just jumped a broad jump of 12'3". Mayock said, wow, on the air, even though we weren't, folks at home didn't know what we were hearing.
Yeah.
That's 8 inches better than we've ever seen at a combine. And Byron Jones jumped into the spotlight at the combine, and certainly in the talent evaluation portion of the calendar. And he's joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Byron?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Are you kidding me? Thank you for joining. 12'3". Did that even surprise you?
Yes, I was very surprised. In training, I was getting about 11.7. Sometimes I jump 11.4 or 11.3. So 12.3 is, yes, very surprising.
Well, where did this come from then?
I've always been able to jump, pretty well. I got to tell you the story. When I was 8 years old, I was in like this track and field event. It's called Hershey Track and Field, so it's for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I did well in districts and regionals, and I was able to go to nationals and competing in the nationals. And I jumped but fell back. I put my hand behind my heel, and they don't make you do it again. They kind of measure from your hand.
Yep.
And I got fourth place, and I cried the entire day. They actually gave me a ribbon for fourth place, and I think it was like purple ribbon, and they put me on a podium for fourth place, and I was crying on the podium. I cried during the picture. I cried all day, and fast forward to yesterday, it was my last chance to actually do something pretty cool for a long jump, and I made sure to capitalize on that. So,
well, there's no ribbon. There could be a first-round contract, though. That's possible.
Yeah, that would be cool, but I don't anticipate jumping into the first round like that.
Well, but here's the deal, Byron. I mean, everyone's going to be coming to the pro day seeing what your 40-yard dash time is. And for those who may not have seen your game in UConn, which cornerback do you model yourself after? Do you think you can emulate at the professional level?
I definitely say our UConn cornerback, Bleedy Ray Wilson. He left 2 years ago. He was starting corner for the Tennessee Titans. It was great watching him play at UConn because he's such a smart, instinctive player. He had great cover skills and a physical tackler. So if anybody, I'd say I model my game after him.
Byron Jones, UConn cornerback, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Did you go to high school in Bristol, Connecticut, in the shadow of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports?
Yes, I did. That's where I stayed.
No kidding. So you grew. So where did you grow up? You grew up in.
I grew up the town over, New Britain, Connecticut. Hard-hitting New Britain. I went to. Yeah, that's what we call it.
Hard-hitting New Britain. So what are you being told about your draft status as it currently stands, Byron Jones?
I spoke to my agent about it. He said, Byron, don't worry about any immediate attention if it's good or if it's bad. Just focus on doing your best. We haven't really discussed where my position may be, but I'm hoping it's somewhere good. That's all I care. I hope I go to a great organization.
Who did you speak to at the combine?
I spoke to pretty much all 32 teams. There were informal meetings and there were formal meetings. So I got a chance to speak to everybody, which was great. And
what was the strangest question you were asked, Byron?
Surprisingly, we had like a bunch of interview prep, and you get and everyone said, it's very intense. They do things to see what person you are. They're going to ask you funny, offbeat questions, but I had absolutely none of that. And I think part of it was because I had no character concerns. I did well in school. I didn't get in any trouble. I had no arrest. So I go in, they ask me how my family was, if I had two parents, and then we'll go straight to talking football.
Wow.
So I had good time. Yeah.
I've got a minute left with you, Byron. So I heard you it sounded like you got a text during this interview. Who have you heard from since jumping out of Lucas Oil on NFL Network? Who have you heard from?
I've heard definitely a bunch of my friends, back in high school, college, of course. My college teammates were all watching it at the time. So they all hit me up. But, yeah, it's just been a bunch of family and friends, nothing better than getting the congratulations from them.
Byron, I know you didn't get a ribbon for jumping 12'3" at the Combine, so maybe an appearance on the Rich Eisen Show counts as a purple ribbon. I'll take it as such. And I'd love to chat with you as you go through the talent evaluation portion of your life as you head towards the draft. I'd love to chat with you throughout the process, if that's okay.
Yes, and I gotta tell you, I enjoy your little 40-yard dash every year. I've been watching it for 3 years straight, and every year I'm laughing my ass off.
Thanks again, calling in, Byron. I'm glad I'm giving a smile to Byron Jones's face.